Okay. You've seen the title, seen that it's called An Immaterial Take on Voldo's Crotch, and before you run away, please stay. Please. No, I need you to understand that I'm a well-adjusted human being. Well, ish. And that there is some context that should be, offered out before we proceed. So let's set the scene. It's a Thursday, and Ryan, the worker bee that he is getting on with his day job, and to get through said day, he loads up a couple of wrestling-based podcasts. Sorry, 1 second. Amazon, look at me. Take your family plan and get lost. I'm the only one using your damn service. I'm the only one going to use your damn service. I do not need your stupid family service. You already have enough of my money. To get through said day, he loads up a couple of wrestling-based podcasts in order to have a nice laugh at the state of the industry, both past and present. While listening to that week's Damn It Vacant podcast, the hosts mention a recent All Elite Wrestling hire, Tekla, and there was something about the way she posed that reminded them of something.
Just not like that fucking spider crawl. It's like fucking Voldo from Soul Calibur. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see it now, don't you? If she turned into a big donut and just rolled round the ring, I'd be fucking terrified.
Ryan hears this, finding it funny that they've claimed that the Spider-Woman on screen is similar to Soul Calibur's mouth-growling, unseeing, hump-making, spiked Krispy Kreme donut of a man, and jokes that because he has been reminded of the Money Pit defending menace, everyone's going to be punished by a video ranking his costumes, but specifically his codpiece. Ryan thinks nothing of it until he hears that week's Cultaholic Nitro review, in which Voldo is mentioned again.
So he was a real one.
You had Voldo sitting there with knife hands from Soul Blade.
God.
Right? But no, you went for the one who's actually a wrestler. Well done.
At this point, Ryan believes it to be fate. Destiny, even. So he sits down and puts his mind to work. Now that we have that out of the way, here is what we are going to do. I'm going to look at as many costumes of Voldo as I can from the numbered entries of the Soul Calibur series, and that does include the first game, Soul Edge or Soul Blade, depending on where you were. And my focus of our lovely boy will be the designs of his groinal adornments. I will look very hard at how nice these costume pieces are, and by the end of all this, I will have my personal favourite Voldo get-up, which will be the undisputed costume. No one will argue, for I will be correct. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. And let's do it. Let's get this parade of Voldos on the road, eh? So here we go. Soul Edge / Soul Blade, player 1 costume. Yeah, he's looking very... It looks like he's got the Tidus look from Final Fantasy X before Final Fantasy X came out. Sort of, you know, it looks like he wouldn't be too uncommon in a game of Blitzball. But the thing that we're actually looking at is, you know, the crotch plate. And to be fair, it looks like he has zipped up his junk and placed it in a little bag on the front of the crotch. I'm not too sure in it, to be honest. It does look like more like a man bag, a man sack bag, really. Yeah, that's all I really can say for that one. Alright, here we go. I have concerns on whether this is even safe for YouTube at this rate. This is the Player 2 costume, the sort of recon special agent Voldo. And yeah, if you paid too much attention to the strap there, that doesn't look like sort of plating. That looks like something that they've already censored out prior to making him. I don't like it. I don't like it. Next. Okay. Who likes the colour pink? This is the PlayStation exclusive costume, according to the fandom, which I had a look at this at. I'm liking the fact that Voldo looks like he's just wearing a sort of coat and a cape over his arse. One of the questions that always comes up when I think about Voldo is he's mute and he's blind and he's insane. how does he dress himself? Or who dresses him? You know? It's just something that just comes up. However, the guard. It does look like someone has took the 4 of a 6-sided dice and just bolted it on to the cup. It's a cup. It's a cup with a 4 on it, with 4 little... Actually, do you push your buttons there? I've noticed that there's a thing with the colour scheme. Something to think about. Okay, right. Soul Calibur, Voldos. Well, the crotch guard looks like webbing. It looks like this is Voldo's lingerie phase. And power to him. I like the sort of Ankh symbol there on the front of him, but again, we're focusing on the midriff. Well, a little lower than the midriff, higher than the legs, lower than the abs. You kind of get an idea. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a waffle cup. There's no other way of saying it. It's a waffle cup. Play 2 costume. The horns. Voldo is a horny character, and I don't just mean the top of his head. And do you ever like a crotch guard with its own horns? Actually, now that I've noticed it, but do you like a crotch guard that just looks at you in the face and tells you that you are going to have one of 2 nights? You're either going to have a really good night or a really poor one, and the guard will judge you for it. I think the spikiness, the horns, I kind of like it. I like ornate designs, something other than just a standard, cricket cup and a strap. It's just how it's going to be. Yeah, that one could end up on the list. This one is an alternate version because no one liked. I'm only going to assume no one liked the crotch guard face. That's just what it is. So therefore, they've removed the crotch guard, and it is now just, well, it looks like a beard or a leech. On there, some more sort of graphical ornateness. Though at that point, I might get disqualified. All right, here we are. Here we go. You want PlayStation sort of stuff? There you go. Though, looking into the infinite void of the crotch in this one could be a lot of stuff. I am now just also picturing this is the most horrific looking gestural from Expedition 33 I have ever seen. Just let that settle in. Let that sink in for a bit. I'll give it another couple of seconds. Maybe I'll even turn the music off here. Yeah? Just as horrified? Cool. Right, let's move on. Here we go now. Now we're getting into it. This is Bandage Voldo. This particular guard does look to the point that he didn't have anything to just strap it with, so they've needed to find like a bit of metal plate or a carapace off another part of his arm. In fact, actually, if you look at the fact that on his left arm he does have some sort of like shoulder plating, on the right arm there's nothing there, because that's just been attached to the man-child area. Why did I call it the man-child area? Doesn't matter. Yeah, it looks like someone just took a piece of armor and just used it to protect him. It's standard, but it's functional. So that'll just be how it goes there. Now here we are. Now this one is a bit more. Oh ho ho! You want a fleur de lis on your crotch guard? Yeah, you can have a fleur de lis. I mean, to be fair, it looks less like a guard and more like a bit of ornate design on the genital area. The genteel genital area. There we go. Let's do that. Like I'm gonna hardly cut any of this. That's just how it's gonna be. You're just gonna see this, and that's how that works. So yeah, I mean I like it. This is an alternate costume that you could clearly get in the Saints Row games. Just colour it purple, and you're done. All right, Voldo, member of the Third Street Saints. Okay, all right. Do you like spikes in your life? do you want to look like you have just come out of a mix between Alien? Actually, yeah, this Voldo is a mix between the Xenomorph from Alien and Dr. Nefarious from Ratchet and Clank. Only me? Fair enough. I mean, the helmet has clearly got a load of style on it. It really does. The body armor, that's there. The sort of muscle fabric legwork, yeah. But the spiked guard, if he gets his move in where he gives you a good humper dump, that's gonna hurt. Whether it looks good though is a little different. I mean, it looks like a little mouse, to be honest, and that feels a little less scary for the big money pit vault guy. Okay, all right. This is. There were 6 costumes that I could see when I was, when I was acquiring these images off a particular website. However, yeah, they're basically 6 costumes split into 3 colours for each costume. Obviously, Voldo's got this very big metal chastity belt sort of thing on him. I mean, this all makes sense given sort of the master mistress sort of thing that Voldo has here. The cup again comes down to it being a waffle cone. It's a waffle cup. I can't go with that. Okay. Sun and Moon aesthetic. That's cool. That's cool. The tiny guard, which is clearly visible over his pantaloons. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Again, though, it looks like the waffle cup, but they just put a design on the front of it. Now you may be wondering, but you like the fleur-de-lis? Yeah, I did. But this is a game later, and the design's got a little bit less good. Well, at least there. The rest of the costume's great, but that's not what we're looking at. Okay, it's standard. I mean, the rest of the costume, cool. Chainmail shoulder? Yeah, alright. Fair enough. However, it's just a standard cup. It's just in black. To be fair, again, it looks like a pouch. It's just missing a zip. Now, it's tough to grade the crotch guard on this, because I don't think he's got one. What he has done is he's took 95% of a kilt and shredded it to turn it into a little flag. Capture Voldo's flag. Go on. I'll wait. Done it? Well, that's weird of you, but yeah, it's a flag. Not a crotch guard. Okay, for Soul Calibur 5, we just had, you know, big images rather than full costumes. It was tough to get what we needed here. But, I mean, you can look at his crotch guard in 2 separate ways. If you look at it from him stood up normally, it looks like a beetle with mandibles. Nash, nash. You look at it from the other way, and, well, sexy times do seem to occur. And it then fits more into Voldo having a crotch outfit of himself. Voldo, love thyself. Bumblebee Voldo. I like it. We're disqualifying this because there is no guard. Here we go. The last couple we've got here. This is just a spiked carapace turtle of a guard. It takes stuff from a couple of games back with the Sun and Moon sort of aesthetic a little bit, and it gives Voldo a bit of a mohawk on the rest of the costume. On the way that the sort of costumes in Soul Calibur sort of changed, gave the ability for Voldo to have a back costume as well as a front one to deal with him going all over the place like the spiked donut that he is. But yeah, the turtle shell, you were never going to look at Mario Kart the same way again. And I don't know if I should feel grateful or not for it. And, well, someone's just bolted. They've bolted a guard to his junk with this one. You know? It's just as is. They've just decided, that's all you need. A bit of bolty thingy. It also just shows that the package isn't that big. It's either that or it's worse. Maybe there's nothing to guard down there. Now that I think about it, there's nothing there. It's just been placed as a way to, you know, keep the parts intact. I don't know where I'm going this. I should stop. I should just get to the top 3. Okay, let's go for it. Our top 3 Voldos. In 3rd place, it is going to be the first player costume from Soul Calibur 6. If I believe that Voldo's crotch now looks like a turtle shell from the Mario franchise, you will too, and you will enjoy it. Number 2 in our Voldo top 3 is the second player costume from Soul Calibur. Grab the Voldo bull by the horns and try and make it out alive, with the money he so vigorously defends. And then our number 1 Voldo costume, based purely on crotch guard, is the first player costume from Soul Calibur 5. Tell me you don't like that. I mean, seriously, tell me you don't like it. Tell me you like one of the others. Or tell me that you think Voldo is a freak of nature and it is really, really odd that you've done a video that's lasted around 15 minutes talking about Voldo's crotch. Hey, it's fair. But still, let me know if you see this. Heck, maybe even argue your own top 3. Until next time though, I'm Ryan from Immaterial Gamers. This has been an Immaterial take on Voldo's crotch, and I'm now going to find something a little bit more normal to do with my life. Peace out.